And then I got asked to be the restaurant critic of the LA Times. And suddenly, my words had power.
Given the recent Me Too movement, I wonder if you can discuss the role of women in your field.
I've faced more harassment as a freelance writer than I ever did in restaurants. Male editors behaved every bit as badly as chefs, and I think with less reason. When I started writing about restaurants, almost every chef was an old European man. In the 70s, cooking became a profession for Americans, and the whole profession of being a chef changed. The chefs are all American, they're all under 25, and they're all college educated, which in 1978 was unimaginable. And those guys were young American guys, and they did behave very badly. And it was also a time of, it was pre-AIDS time, sexual revolution, a lot of drugs, a lot of drinking, and people behaved badly.
How would you advise a young woman who wanted to be a chef?
Well, what I would say is you're really lucky. Your time is now. The Me Too moment has really changed everything. And they have the shoulders of many women to stand on now. There are lots of women who are raising their voices and mentoring young women, and there are real role models. And I think that things this year are even different than they were last year, and that you can go work anywhere, and if you have a problem, it will be taken care of.
Not that anybody could know the answer to this, but do you think this is going to last?
Absolutely. I think it's been way too long in coming. Nobody's putting up with that anymore, and I don't think you put that genie back in the bottle.
You have this delightful, generous nature. It comes across in everything. How are you a critic?
I don't think I'm a natural critic. And when I started writing food criticism, I was very lucky. I was writing for New West Magazine, which was was the sister publication of New York, but it wasn't nearly as powerful. And I couldn't make or break anything. And it was fantastic. I could write anything and it wasn't going to hurt anyone. And I had a great time. I did that for 6 years. And then I got asked to be the restaurant critic of the LA Times. And suddenly, my words had power. It was really frightening. On the other hand, I kept thinking about, and I pinned a picture, a photograph of a young couple. I mean, I thought about me and Doug. We were so poor. My parents would send us a check for $25 for my birthday, and we would go to Chez Panisse. And that was the only time we got to go out to eat. Mm-hmm. And I imagined us, and I had this young couple pinned to my bulletin board, and they had that $25 for their one meal out a week. And, they were the people who were paying my salary. And I thought, I owe it to them to be fair. And if I can't tell them, don't waste your money in this restaurant, I really shouldn't be doing this job. And I loved the job. But I think there are some people who rejoice in writing mean reviews, and people love to read them, but it was never easy for me.
What have you learned about you and life from your work?
You really have a choice about 1 million times a day to be kind or to be mean, and that it really behooves you to be kind. And being mean just doesn't get you anywhere. I really thought a lot about the people I had worked for. And I didn't like the way a lot of the men had behaved. But I had a couple of women bosses who were fantastic, who were both tough and generous and and not full of themselves. And I pretty much decided to model myself on them. The other thing I learned is like always, surround yourself with people who are smarter than you are. Hire people who can do things that you can't do. Just keep learning.